Hi everybody and welcome back to another action figure review. Today I'll unbox and review this figure, Skarah The Valkyrie from TBLeague. And it's a new figure, and then again, it's not really a new figure. The figure has been released before, it's a reissue now, so if you like me missed the first release, you have the chance now. But let's check out if this figure is worth getting. The figure comes in this typical TBLeague style box, well packaged and protected. And my first impression here of the first layer is that it's a really good looking head sculpt and a few cool accessories, and the figure is mostly armored and assembled when you get it. Some TBLeague releases can be really tricky to assemble, but in this case that shouldn't be the problem. Let's move on to the second layer. Here we will find the weapons. In this case, a shield and a sword. Looks like die-cast, but it isn't. And then a very long spear. And the spear is in two different parts. So you have to put it together, or maybe even use the top part, the tip point of the spear, on its own. That could be possible. Then we have a base. In this case, it's not a huge base, rocky base of some kind. It's a very simple stand with not much going on. But let's turn our attention to the figure, because here it is, out of the box. Skarah the Valkyrie. The only things you have to assemble is the shoulder armor piece here, the necklace, and then the helmet that you can put on the figure if you like. A good thing about the helmet is that it's not really a helmet, it's more like a mask. So you can easily remove it and put it back on. Not much work, and not risking any kind of paint rubbing or scratching of the figure. As usual, the hair might need a little work. It's very long, but in this case it's not terribly bad out of the box. This is how the figure looks from behind, and the chest armor is assembled here on the back side of the figure. And also some very nice knee armor and boots. Everything seems very, very solid. It's not a figure that I would avoid posing or using for crazy action poses or something like that. It seems like it's very capable of doing stuff like that. The figure comes with only 3 types of hands. Open hands like this one, then a pair of pointy hands, and then the holding, gripping hands already on the figure. I could have used some fists maybe. Then we have the shield here. Nice details with scratch and battle damage. It's very light, but still it seems pretty solid. As mentioned before, the sword here looks like die-cast metal. It really has a nice shine and look to it, but it is flexible plastic. Again, I'm not really afraid to break it. And the same things can be said about the spear here. It's the same material, very, very long spear. A size comparison next to the newest TBLeague figure. I own the Hell's Messenger, so here we have Hell's Messenger and Skarah together. And of course, they are in the same scale and fit perfectly together. Skarah might be a little smaller, but not much. As usual, I won't go into details with the articulation. If you are familiar with the Phicen bodies, you know that you can move and articulate the figures in almost any way, and the muscles and skin will move realistic when you pose the figure. Just be careful not to leave the figure posed in some extreme or crazy poses for too long. But as usual with these types of bodies, great articulation. And there is something about this figure that makes me want to pose it in dynamic battle poses. Mostly because it looks great, but also because it seems very solid. I won't be afraid to take this figure outside for photo shoots. And if you like, you can of course also pose the figure in more museum-like poses, and for that purpose, the base is great to have. And as seen here, there are decorations on the base, but it's not an important piece to me, and I might end up forgetting about it. But for now, I will leave you with my opinion about Skarah, and then I'll wrap up this review. If you own Skarah the Valkyrie from the first release, you might know that it's a great looking and very well made figure. I am not sure if there are any differences between the reissue here and the first version though, but what I can tell you is that I really think this figure is worth getting. As I have mentioned in this review, it's very well made, solid, poseable, and great looking. I could have used a few more hands maybe, and the base is not terribly interesting, but besides that, go for it. Thanks a lot for watching this review. Leave a comment and subscribe if you'd like to see more.